Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Please don't be raining. Perfect.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning and greetings, Boise State fans, and welcome on into the new Capital 11. Well, it's like 16 months old. I'm not sure if we're still calling it new. The Capital 11 building. We're hanging out today. You get off the elevator, you see the sign, and just a unbelievable spot, a lot of different companies, all kinds of stuff we're going to talk to Travis Hawks about. But I found Mike Prater over by the Papa Shot when we were getting ready to start the show here. I mean, this has to be maybe the most unbelievable break room I've ever seen at a business. You've got the Papa Shot, you've got the ping pong, you've got, the fountain drinks for the soda, all the luxurious spots here to hang out and work. And I tell you what, Travis, you and your crew here have put something special together. And maybe my favorite room, you've got the folks over here working hard, but right next door, the game room. You got I couldn't find NBA Jam for my kids because the last one apparently was here in the game room. But all kinds of cool stuff. NBA Jam. You got the whatever you call it. Why can't I think of the name of the game?
Pinball.
Pinball. There you go. You do a little work here though. You got the Culture is Contagious, the boardroom there where we actually met and got our deal done. Maybe my coolest part is the all the different companies that you guys have invested in. What's the total number at?
We're 55 plus now.
55 plus. And wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe the coolest room though, Mike Prater, all it has is a little BSU sign on it. You open the door and it's a shrine to Boise State. I think we need to do a show in there at some point, Travis, but you got all this stuff on the walls. You got the Coach Pete autographed football, the all kinds of autographed items. Obviously you got that there, but maybe the coolest part, I don't even think Mike Prater has his own Boise State jersey. There you go. We got Travis Hawks, David Gardner with their personalized Boise State basketball jerseys. And you know what, Mike? They even welcomed us. They put us on the marquee there on the sign, Capital 11, welcoming Bronco Nation News. And we're excited to be here. Going to be a lot of fun. We bring you in live to, what do you call this room? We
call this the Pro Image Pod.
The Pro Image Pod. And you got all kinds of hats and things and pretty cool, man. We appreciate you for having us out again.
Yeah, I'm excited you guys are here. It's a great way to start the week and start July. And this office we've been in here 16 months, and it's been a game changer for our team, and sets itself well up for things like this.
Mike, I joked about the seeing you in the Papa Shop area, but wouldn't be a bad place to work.
Oh, heck no. It'd be an awesome place to work. And I bet you he's even got little secret doors with all kinds of other fun stuff that he won't even allow you and I to hang out with.
We've seen one or two.
By the way, if we are celebrating something, it is July 1st. You always ring a bell, but that's one of the most, and we're going to talk about this throughout all today on Idaho Sports Talk, but July 1st is a very historic day in Boise State history. Every a conference changes from the Big Sky to the Big West, July 1st, to the WAC, July 1st, to Mountain West, July 1st. This has been a historic day in the history of Boise State athletics.
It has, and I was thinking I was going to bring up NIL having its 3rd birthday today too. But you talk about all the various conferences, and I was still up at midnight doing some stuff last night, or I guess it was 10 p.m. Our time on the East Coast was midnight, and I saw the welcome tweet to those schools joining the ACC and all the conference stuff going official today. So. Yeah, that is crazy times. But Travis Hawks, appreciate you, prominent business owner and booster, and most importantly for us at least, a sponsor of ours here at Bronco Nation News. The conference room I just showed there, we sat in that conference room, and we were able. You helped us. I mean, if you love Mike Prater, you can thank Travis Hawks. If you don't like Mike Prater, you can thank Travis Hawks. Mike Prater is part of the BNN family, in large part, Travis, due to you and upping your commitment and investment to BNN. So we truly appreciate that, and was just in the blue and orange store the other day, and now you have the Pro Image and then the Pro Image Kids. I mean, you keep expanding, and you're going to take over the entire mall here pretty soon. But just wanted to right off the bat say thank you for what you're doing for BNN and for us, and for be able to do stuff like take Mike and Johnny down to Media Days next week and do their show down there and things. So we truly appreciate what you're doing, and I know Mike does as well.
Well, I appreciate that, and obviously big fan of both you guys, and appreciate all you do on the coverage side. And again, excited to have you here. And the other reason July 1st is an important date is because we can say football season starts next month.
You can. You can. We were just talking a week from tonight. We're flying down to Vegas for Mountain West Media Days already. It's earlier than normal. I'm not getting any comments. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. Let us know. Usually I'd have about 10, you're muted or whatever by now, and I have nothing. So I think we're good. Last time I was here, we had some minor audio issues. We're starting late. You and Matt Bauscher and all them over, laughing in the corner at me. But you said maybe for Christmas you would help buy me a new box. I guess you indirectly did by helping me bring in Mike Prater, but we have upgraded the equipment, and I believe we're past any of our audio issues, and we can have 3 mics and all sound the same, and everybody says all sounds good. So we're doing good, and nice. And newer lights. We keep upping the equipment. We got some really cool,
real deal.
We got some really cool plans for Mountain West Media Days next week as well.
Well, I have a question about Mountain West Media Days. Are you going to make it to Barry's while you're at the?
You know what? I haven't really told Prater or Johnny this, but I was hoping one of the nights that maybe BNN could treat the crew to Barry's. How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
I could do some serious damage at Barry's.
Well, I didn't say you could go crazy. I'm gonna have a limited menu or something for Mike Prater.
Just order the rib cap and you'll be good to go.
The happy hour menu for you only, Prater. Actually, what he'll do at the last minute, like 20 minutes before the reservation, Prater, can you bang out a quick column for me? And then I'll be down in my hotel room by myself banging out 1,000
bring you
words.
leftovers. Yeah. No, Barry's is pretty darn good.
It's my favorite steakhouse in Vegas. So you've got me on the circuit train.
Yep.
And always
actually are going to probably announce it officially next week with Derek Stevens down in Vegas, but we are putting together a package for the UNLV game. We have gobbled up some tickets on Southwest, and that's why that price has gone up. And so we are going to put a package together where you can go down, get 2 nights, get tickets to the game. They're going to do a little party out at Stadium Swim all day before the game for us, and hopefully folks will take advantage of that. Not a moneymaker for BNN or anything, just to get people and support our sponsor, Circa, who has re-upped for another year, but just trying to make it a fun, affordable trip for everybody to go down to the UNLV game. So if you are making plans for that, we'll tell you more about that next week. But Travis, what do you just make, I guess, before we get into some specific topics, the general state of Boise State athletics right now? And I know there's some stuff out there and with what's going on with Jeremiah Dickey, but overall with the momentum of the football program and the momentum of the basketball program and even a lot of the smaller sports, I mean, as a fan, booster, supporter, I mean, you've got to be feeling pretty good about the direction of the department here.
Yeah, I think it's a really crazy time. I think there's a lot of great things, with the North End Zone project, with the what they're doing on the basketball side. Obviously, a lot of excitement around this football team and football program. A lot of things happening, as you said, across multiple sports. There's a lot to be excited about. There's also a lot. We're just in such a crazy environment in college athletics. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And when you talk, we used to just think that the uncertainty was around conference realignment, and we've been dealing with that for a long time. That continues to be a question, but now you layer in this NIL, the pain of players, the court rulings, and the continued transfer portal things. Who knows? And I think in talking to folks, they say anyone who thinks they know what's going to happen in college athletics in the next few years is lying, because nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So it's a time of a lot of uncertainty, but there's a lot of good things. And I think what I'm excited about is Jeremiah and his team are, I truly believe, doing everything they can with the resources they have and the opportunities they have to position Boise State in the best possible situation. And we'll see what happens.
I'll let you follow up on that in a second, Prater. We do have a couple comments coming in. Chad did say, favorite steakhouse in Vegas, a sentence I wish I could relate to. Someone like Travis Hawk has the multiple options down there. And then Clark Rasmussen, one of our big sponsors at ICCU, appreciate you, Clark, is watching, and he says he wants to buy one of the black hats with the Idaho logo and the Bronco over there. So nice. You can go to the blue and orange store, and they've got it there. I assume that hat's available online as well.
Yep.
The blue and orange store.
I thought he wanted the Capital 11 hat. I thought that's what it was.
You know what? I noticed you have the Iwagi hats here too.
Yeah, they're up right there. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Me and Prater, you gave us a hat last time. We're both sporting it's the only time you can get me to wear blue and orange, I said, is when it's a Capital when it's a Capital 11.
That looks good on you.
You noticed I didn't pick the blue and orange color. At least I went a little darker blue.
Showed up, brought it to me at a basketball game. When your sponsor gives you a free hat, you're kind of stuck wearing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a nice hat and fits well. And this is a pretty sweet wall here for sure. People are asking where Dave is. We left out Dave.
Dave is out of town.
Okay.
Dave, is this his family that's asking, or who's asking?
Maybe so. Brent Chapman's wanting to know where Dave is.
Oh, yeah. No, I know Brent. So, Dave is out of town this week, or we definitely have him make a cameo.
David Gardner, one of your business partner.
Yeah. And is Brent the orthodontist? No.
Yes.
Yeah. He's actually worked on these choppers before.
Okay.
So good
Very
guy.
good.
There you go. Yeah, and then Prater, I'm sorry, but going back to the steakhouse for a second, Kurt says a children's menu for Prater.
I can do some damage on the children's
There's
menu.
no kids menu at Barry's. I can tell you that.
I can still do some damage.
$50 burger and fries, but it's
two of them.
But it is worth it there. Prater, you heard him talk about from the booster perspective, just the general state. I don't know if you have a comment or a question, just the general state of Boise State athletics from your perspective.
Well, Travis is not wrong, but I can't stop thinking about what he said when we opened up this show. Football starts a month from now. Next month. And it's July 1st, and Boise State plays August 31st, and Boise State doesn't open up a lot of seasons before Labor Day weekend. So I think that's kind of the gift to the college football gods in terms of, there's a lot of important stuff going on out there, the money, the courts, the future, all that kind of crazy stuff. But, I've been working really hard and trying to spread a message and trying, frankly, myself too, policing yourself as a fan and just getting ready for a football season. And that's the most exciting thing for me, that here in 6-7 weeks, we get to play some football here at Boise State. But it is a crazy time at Boise State. There's a lot of crossroads going on. I think they've got a handle on everything down there in terms of what they have to do. They've bitten off just as much as they can chew, and they're tackling it. Certainly Jeremiah Dickey and his future is very much the elephant in the room, and I can't wait to see how that plays out, if indeed it does play out. Certainly he is going to be in the mix somehow, some way at the University of Houston. It's just impossible for that not to be the case. At what point does it escalate? We'll see, but I think it's a beautiful time in Boise State athletics. A lot of angst right now, a lot of crazy chaos, but you're right. Nobody knows what's going on, so just enjoy the games.
And you've obviously, have a good relationship with Jeremiah. You've seen what he has done, what previous athletic directors have done. What's just your take on the 3.5 years of JD as athletic director, and your thoughts when you heard about the Houston opening?
Yeah, well, not not feel good when I heard about the Houston opening, just because of his connection there. Obviously, I mean, it would be a absolute disaster for Boise State if Jeremiah were to leave right now. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I remember in his introductory press conference, it stayed with me. He said, what we don't have, we'll go out and get. And that was such a different vision and mindset from previous athletic directors. And he's done that. I mean, they've gone out and raised a record amount of money. People were skeptical that this, stadium expansion project would ever happen. It's happening. They have just really raised the bar on everything around Boise State athletics, and he's phenomenal. Now, great leaders that are really trying to push the envelope are also going to have detractors. And there's some of that, and there's some people still not happy about what happened with Andy. And I just say that leadership takes courage, and he had to make the decision that he felt was in the best interest of the program. But he's done a phenomenal job. I pray every night that he stays here because we need him, and he's been an incredible Bronco.
The one word in sports that's overused over and over and over again, and you can't help but use it in this particular case, is culture. And sometimes I roll my eyes when I hear that word. And I wasn't happy either when Jeremiah Dickey got rid of Andy Avalos. Obviously, there were some wrinkles and some issues within the program. But if indeed culture is the most important thing in your athlete, whether it's business here or football down there, if it's good, you're going to thrive. If it's not, it's going to eat you alive. And there is no debating whether you believe in the Andy Avalos decision or not, that the culture, since it's changed, since that decision was made, the culture has changed dramatically. And you can see it from the outside. You can see it from the inside. You can see it everywhere. And if that was the goal, mission accomplished.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think he was in the best position to make the decision from his view, and I trust the decision because of that, and I trust his overall track record, which again has been phenomenal. And I don't think I think people don't fully comprehend what they've accomplished from a fundraising standpoint, and this North End Zone project, which has gotten exponentially more expensive because of the macro environment, right? Construction costs, interest, borrowing money costs, those types of things. I mean, this project is so much more expensive than it been a few years ago, which made it that much harder to pull off. And they've pulled it off. It's happening.
Well, let's get into that North End Zone project here in just a couple seconds. We got a couple more comments and questions for Travis too. If you got a comment or a question, Travis, he told us before the show, open book, whatever you got for him. The ICCU YouTube chat, we'll get to that in just a second. But do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Perfect for that next game day tailgate, that round of golf. Anytime you're looking to have a good time, make sure you check out Cutwater Spirits. Our title sponsor is roepaint.com, roepaint.com. And again, those concrete coatings, way stronger, way better than epoxy. 15-year warranty on those for your back patio, your garage, your basement. But they can do interior, exterior, residential painting, commercial, industrial as well. All your painting needs, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. And our title sponsor is Boise State Athletics is roepaint.com. Bronco Nation News also sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Hope you enjoyed episode 1 last week of the Tyson Degenhart Show. We had Dylan Anderson on, his first comments since transferring to Boise State. I want to get Travis's thoughts on Dylan Anderson, the 7-footer from Arizona, here before the show is over as well. Idaho Central Credit Union, there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but of course the easiest is the mobile eBranch online banking right there in your pocket on your smartphone. So check them out. Raines family, BNN, happy we made the switch. You will be as well at IdahoCentralCreditUnion.com. Matt Bauscher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, found out firsthand why that's the case. He helped us buy and sell in the past few months. And Cade, Sarah, Kelly, Matt, the whole team, just tremendous customer service every step of the way. It was awesome, and very thankful that we went with Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. So you can as well, 243-8222. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. And again, no home too big, too small. Matt and his team are ready to help you out for all your real estate needs. And of course, Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations in the state of Idaho. Love that Kuna location. Been out to the Star as well. Again, all over the Treasure Valley, all over the Magic Valley, the state of Idaho. If you're heading up to McCall for 4th of July, make sure you check out that Ridley's location there in McCall. So shopridleys.com. You can download that Skip app as well. Good savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. We appreciate our friends at Shop Ridley's and Ridley's Family Markets. All right, Travis, we had a couple more comments too. Let me get back to those. You got a question, a comment? Let's see here. Where was the one? Somebody was asking about, Melinda says picked up 4 Heisman t-shirts at the Blue and Orange store.
Nice.
Ready for the season. I know you got all the NIL gear there. We'll get to that as well. But Tato says, I'm pretty sure I can see this office from my office. So wherever he's watching from.
Okay.
How's it going? Yeah. Well, thanks for
a lot of office windows out here.
Yeah.
James McDonald. Hey, strangers, deployed this year. So some early mornings coming up, but good to see everyone go Broncos. Thank you, James. What else we got here? A lot of comments. BSU Bill wants to know if you've seen a sneak peek of the uniforms.
Oh, I have. Yes.
Of course you have.
Yes.
Of course you have, Mike Prater.
Okay, I got 2 quick questions for you then. I've been told but haven't been able to confirm it. Is that coming out the same day as the EA Sports on July 19th?
Oh,
it'll be out before that.
Okay.
Before July 19th.
The 2 players at Media Days will be wearing the new uniforms next week.
And we're talking kind of minor, right? We're not talking crazy. I mean,
I would say a refresh.
BJ's seen them.
I have been informed what they look like, but I have not seen. We're not Travis Hawks. I can't know.
I mean, it's not
very
like,
similar to some of the other Nike uniforms you've seen. There's basically 2 styles: one that has the stripes, one that's just almost empty. I would say it's similar to one of those. It's not a huge, flashy thing, but I would say it's a nice, from what I've told, a clean refresh.
Yeah. Looks a little more modern. So I think it's a great change. But yeah, it's not like a Maryland type change or anything.
And we're looking at that before the 19th, so next week or 2.
Maybe Monday. I was told maybe Monday or Tuesday, because the players will be wearing them Wednesday at Media Days. Okay, so there might be something Monday or Tuesday next week to get it out publicly before the Media Days.
Cool,
maybe.
Cool.
But and apparently I was told maybe the blue's not even in, so they might be wearing the white at the Media Days. I'm not sure yet. They, Dale Holste, I'm sure he's a little bit nervous, but the 2 straight road games and then the bye week, they don't need the blues, I guess, until week 4. So they told Nike to make sure we get the white ones first, and those are in. We'll see about the other colors moving forward, from what I was told. But everyone I've heard, and I guess you think it's not going to be some these are terrible type thing.
Oh no, I think they look great. I think fans will like them, and it's just kind of a nice, clean, modern refresh.
From fans that I've talked to, a lot of them expect a major blowout of something crazy change, like Oregon weird or something like that. And so
which at the beginning kind of was what Boise State was at the beginning. They had those what they call those pro combat ones. They had a little flair to them, back there.
I think there's a little bit of false hype for this one. I just don't want, I'm just trying to look out for the fans' best interest, because that's what I do for a living. I look out for the Boise State fans, and just police yourself a little bit, because it's not going to be crazy change.
Can we get white number? The big thing I want is white numbers, though. I hate those gray numbers on all the.
Because it makes it hard for the media.
That's all we care about. But they're hard to read.
Eyes.
Yeah, they're hard to read. I just don't think they look great. Blue with blue and then gray. I mean, even when you have like the white, pants or whatever, and you have the gray, I just hopefully it's a little more clean white numbers, and I think that might be
makes those opposing coaches work harder on that full field view.
I guess whatever. Yeah, where's Rocky Long at? That was always the best quote at Media Day every year, was asking him for like 10 years in a row what he thought of the blue on blue or whatever. But you mentioned the North End Zone project, big project. Even there's still folks that are skeptical. Even our friend Mark Moss that comments and stuff says, until I see a shovel in the ground, I'm not ready to believe it.
Happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, like there's still work to do, but it's happening, and still some money to raise. And a big component of it is pre-selling, these loges and these club seats and these suites. And they're in the process of doing that right now, and still out getting lead donations, because you do need a certain amount of cash, in the bank to start. But yeah, I full confidence that this thing is breaking ground as soon as the season ends, and it's going to be an absolute game changer for the stadium, from a revenue perspective, from an amenity perspective, and as you guys know, as it's talked about a lot, like the premium seats have a wait list. There are no premium seats available in that stadium.
They've sold the Sky Center out 3 years in a row.
Right. It's sold out. There's a waiting list. And so this will help alleviate that. And ultimately, like when you look at the revenue that these seats create, like it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think the North End Zone's 300,000 currently, and it's going to go to over 4 million, I think, in terms of that. And I mean, in a perfect world, I think that Jeremiah Dickey would just take San Diego State Stadium or take Colorado State Stadium and just swap it out. Like it just, but you can't do that obviously. So you can't build a brand new stadium. So they're going to have to just do this in pieces. Obviously the east side, I think people still have a lot of issues with the restrooms and traffic flow and concession stands over there. I know they're trying to connect the stadium and make that a little easier on that corner. I think that there's big opportunity in the other end zone as well, the south end zone, to redo the athletic department offices and things. And that's kind of what Utah did, something like that. We're seeing it all over the country with you can add more suites and more seats and also add offices. I mean, there's several probably long-term ideas and thoughts. I wouldn't say projects yet, or plans, but so I think there's a lot of work to be done, but this is a nice start. And from a revenue standpoint, it is going to decrease the seating. I know some fans are a little upset about that. And they also think, oh, these rich people aren't going to cheer and the end zone's going to be quiet now and all this kind of stuff. But you gotta, there's just some give and take here. And as you said, $4+ million for the entire athletic department here. It's also going to be the training table, I believe, where all the athletes will now eat. Again, you got to just be a big, buzzkill, just guy that likes to be negative to really find a lot of negative, with this project. The pictures we saw, Mike, and all the designs, it looks awesome. And again, we've had projects and things before, but it looks like Jeremiah is finally pushing this hopefully across the finish line.
Yeah, no, and I'm the most skeptical guy, but by January 15th, let's throw that number out there, maybe even by January 1st, depending on, because they got the Potato Bowl or hoping to get a CFP home game. That would be before Christmas, but in January, they're going to break ground. There's no doubt about that. They have enough money to make that happen. I love the fact that they're out there selling against everybody, kind of building this leverage in terms of the tickets and the waiting list and using that. I think the financing part of it has been pretty brilliant right now. I even like some of the smaller details, and you pointed out the East Concourse, connecting the East Concourse to the North End Zone to give those customers, those fans a little bit more of a leeway. Now you can choose. Do I want to be a trough guy or do I want to be a new bathroom guy? You can even go down to that. So, even on the field in the corners, a 20-seat suite for maybe former football players and their fans, another former 20-seat seat over here on the side, in terms of some VIP donors where guys like Travis can go sit. So I think it's really cool in terms of how they've done it. I think they've addressed the little guy. I think they've addressed the big guy and everybody in between. And I think it's a really, really smart plan. And I cannot wait to see that shovel in the ground.
The other big thing that I don't think people fully understand that this gives them the opportunity to do is if you think about new people you're trying to bring into the program, new donors, whether they're newly built great companies or newly moved here or just new fans to the program, if you're going to sit down with them and asking them for a big capital commitment to Boise State prior to this project, the first question is, well, yeah, great. I'll consider donating this $1 million to the school, but I want tickets, right? I want great tickets. Well, they've had no suites to sell. They've had no club seats to sell. They've had no loges to sell. So that makes it really hard. It makes it hard to try and recruit new people in that you're trying to get a big capital contribution from and say, oh, by the way, there's really no seats.
Here's some North End Zone seats for your family.
We can even sell you. We can't even sell you seats.
We can put you up on the top of the wings.
Sure. Yeah. Great. That goes over well. So this allows them, there's going to be some shuffling. I'm sure there'll be some people move from, the current Sky Center into the North End Zone or whatever will happen. But it gives them inventory to be able to sell to new donors or existing donors that they're trying to level up. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a cool project and another step forward that, they've done, when I first got here in 2013, a lot of that stuff, the football facility was just opening, but they really haven't done a lot of huge major projects. I mean, have they done any athletics wise since then? I mean, you're adding lights and some stuff to some of the smaller sports, but they had so much momentum in terms of the new press box, the indoor practice facility, the new, end zone, Blameyer complex. But I mean, it's been a decade, I think. And Jeremiah was saying they haven't done a capital campaign in longer than that to raise serious money for athletics. So that's got to be, as a booster, one of the things that's stood out the most, I guess. You mentioned the fundraising. And one of the knocks that I heard on previous ADs, they would just ask the same 6 or 7 people for money. The donor base is expanded. The BAA is expanded. Even people like the Blue Collar Club helping out and getting $10 here and there to add to it. And it seems like the overall donor base, and as you said, bringing in new donors, new people, that's got to be, from a booster perspective, the relationship. What did he say when he took the job? He wanted to meet with 100 donors in 100 days or whatever, and it just seemed like that's been his goal, and all that wasn't just talk. That's come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. They have gone out and done that. They've done a tremendous job of building relationships, and I think the key is that they've definitely widened that circle. That's been obvious of asking and not just asking the same people. But the other key component to that is that there has been a vision. Because if you're just asking people to donate and you're not presenting any vision of this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, this is what we're building, it's hard. It's hard to get excited and make those donations when you don't feel that vision and you don't have confidence, in that leadership that they're going to go spend that money wisely, right? And I think that's another thing that they've done a great job at, is not only building those relationships and widening that circle and going to new people and building new relationships, but also they have forth a vision of this is where we're trying to go and this is how we're going to get there.
Yeah, so that leads up to the main question, back to the elephant in the room of Jeremiah Dickey. If he leaves, what's going to happen? Let's not address that right now. Let's be a little bit more proactive. Let's say if Jeremiah Dickey was in charge of keeping Jeremiah Dickey and the creative ways and all the different ways of doing it, whether it's private equity here, new contracts from the president, or anything in between. You're a creative businessman who's doing things privately, who's doing things publicly. What's the best way? How do you rally the troops around Jeremiah Dickey to try to keep him here? You can't match $1 million at Houston, but there's intangibles to sell in Boise. You can match a little bit of the money. If you get him up to $600,000, $800,000, do you bring in private equity? Do you sponsor the AD's office? How do you get creative to keep Jeremiah Dickey here?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think Jeremiah sincerely, loves being here, loves living here. His family likes it here. I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons he wants to stay, just in my opinion. But I think a key thing is, there's always been this little bit of a disconnect of where everyone wants Boise State to go, but then also marrying the resources with that.
Yep.
So if the idea is, hey, we want Boise State to be this elite athletic department comparable with whatever schools, you want to throw out, Houston and Baylor as the two places he was before.
Yep.
What is everyone doing? And not just donors, like also from a state perspective, from a university perspective, as far as what is the university contributing to athletics, all of those things. And I think that's ultimately a decision, all the stakeholders have to make. Is we can say this is what we want Boise State to become, but we also have to commit the resources to become that.
Where are you on the NIL front? You guys have been very proactive in that, and you guys obviously are selling all the shirts and things. You're one of the first to have that actually in the store, with the players' jersey numbers. We have the Ashton Genty thing, and that was obviously a monumental thing for Spencer Danielson in this department. When you really think about it, it is pretty crazy that Ashton Genty, and it says a ton about him, wanted to be here and is here. And I know you, a number of folks, have been involved in that and helping get basketball players here, and you do whatever it takes to do what Boise State can. You mentioned there's a ceiling. There's only so much that this town and Boise State can do, and others have talked about that. But just overall, Boise State, NIL, Joe Nickel, the collective. What are your general thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think again, it's back to what I said earlier, where I think Boise State is doing the very best they can with the resources they have, and I believe they've been very creative. They have always made more with less, and I think they're doing that from an NIL perspective. I hope fans don't take for granted both Ashton and Tyson staying. I mean, this is incredible that these two face of the program, football and basketball, that passed up a lot of money to stay, and I think both for different reasons, but both kind of unique guys. Ashton, a lot of fans haven't got to know him, talk to him, etc. He is a great guy and very impressive. And we're so fortunate that he is the face of our program, because it reminds me of like how great it was when Kellen Moore was the face of the program, because you're like, this guy is not going to let us down, right? Like, he's such a good person. He's not going to let us down. And we're lucky that we don't have a jerk as the face of the program. And that's how Ashton is. And I think he was very wise in how he thought through the process of staying, from how I understand it. But I think in NIL in general, I don't think it's sustainable anywhere. Like what's been happening in kind of this continuous ask to donors, like, we need this much, we need this much, we need this much. I think everyone right now is in this kind of survival state of, we can survive a few years until we see like what the program is, what the courts decide, how the revenue sharing works. Do these kids become employees of the school? Like, just all of these things. I don't think it's sustainable anywhere with how it is going right now.
Well, I love it for the fact that, you could have an Ashton Genty and pay him $500 to come sign autographs at the Blue and Orange store. That kind of stuff is perfect for me. But I think there are very few athletes out there that the companies are getting value for what they're actually giving them. And it's becoming the pay for play. Nothing against Ashton Genty, but he's got a car deal. I have no idea who it's with. I haven't seen one thing about that. I mean, and so it's just the way that that part of it is always kind of what bugs me. Just say what it is. And you have some of these charity involvement things where it's like, okay, just do the charity work. Do you really need to get paid for it? And maybe this is me just being overly negative, but I feel like it's kind of it's pay for play, and it's being hidden down these other avenues where it's like, oh, and so you do have Tyson and some of these guys doing the commercials for the Degenhart Dozens and doing all this kind of stuff. But some of these guys are just putting these packages together, and then you never know like what they're sponsoring or what they're doing. And so you're right. I don't know how it continues. Maybe it is, Mike. They just become employees and they get a paycheck. Now we have the schools, I guess, are allowed to facilitate the NIL deals. So that even more makes it, pay for play in terms of that, because you just go to these guys, you said, but you have, they're putting a North End Zone project together, and they're coming to folks like you asking for money. And then Joe Nickel and the Collective or Spencer Danielson or Leon Rice are calling you and saying, we need $20K for this guy. I mean, that's a good point, because I just don't know where the money comes from when you guys are getting asked to contribute to both.
And that is the biggest problem right now of, for any donor, like they don't have unlimited resources, right? And so it's a hard position for donors, and it's a hard position for Boise State, for the athletic department. They understand this, because it's like, when they come and talk to me, I'm like, I'm in, I want to help. You just tell me where, like what, there's a football expansion, there's a basketball facility expansion, there's the Collective, there's just general athletic budget. And then certainly there's seats and seats in the new facility, all of those things. And so that's all coming out of the same bucket, but they have all these different buckets, and it's a huge challenge right now. Again, not just at Boise State, everywhere, for donors and for athletic departments, because it used to be you're asking for dollars for 1 or 2 buckets, and now it's 5 buckets.
And Mike, I'll say this quickly. This is year 3, we said, of NIL, and this is the 3rd anniversary that's happening. You had the same within a week, I think, the transfer portal thing going too, where you don't have to sit out a year. I mean, I heard Alvaro Cardenas, even after committing to Boise State, was getting like triple the offer to go somewhere else after he's been committed for a month to Boise State. He's on campus now. I think he's good. He's locked in. But like we mentioned, Ashton Genty, school's offering him probably 7 figures. I mean, when he's not in the transfer portal, that's not supposed to be allowed. But I mean, it is just, you saw what happened with Chibuzo Abo. I mean, the whole thing is it sustainable for you, Mike?
No, it's absolutely not sustainable. And there will be a market correction eventually, and we'll see what it looks like. My question for you is, there's not going to be a correction for the next couple of years. I think we're going to have to deal with this grind for the next couple of years. And I think there's been some serious progress in this community over the last 3 years. In the beginning, I'm not even sure for that first year we even knew or even talked about. Well, we certainly talked about it, but I don't think the average fan even realized, or the average business owner realized, what NIL was. Now it's hit them in the face, and they're just waking up and they're going, what the heck just happened here? I ask you this question, Travis. Boise State's doing a pretty good job of NIL. Certain high-profile businesses, mostly associated with the circle that we're talking about here, have done a good job. How about the rest of the community, the grassroots community? Is this community, whether it's a small business owner or Joe Blow fan, has it responded and rallied around this NIL deal to the point where for the next 2 years it can be sustainable, at least for that window?
Yeah, I think it's back to that same problem of asking those people to help in multiple ways, right? And having to pick, do you want them to buy tickets? Do you want them to donate to the new expansion, or do you want them to donate to the Collective? And then it gets hard because it gets spread thin. But I think that when it comes to that NIL bucket, there are 2 things, right? There are these market-driven advertising, right, where ICCU or Pastry Perfections or whatever, Blue and Orange store will pay an athlete, they get something in return.
Yep.
And those deals are happening, but I don't know if everyone realizes that's a small percentage of what is happening. The bigger percentage is just really this essentially pay for play, right? Which is donate to the Collective with a person, a business owner, a donor getting nothing in return. donate to the collective, pays the players. And that is the bulk of what's happening. So the idea in the beginning that was like, oh yeah, sure, like Ian Johnson should have benefited from all those 41 jerseys that were sold. 100% agree. But that's a small percentage of what this has turned into.
Yep.
And now you have guys that are, wanting money out of high school when they've never played it down, or it becomes a big part of the transfer portal process, right? I mean, we just saw this with what happened with Boise State basketball in the transfer portal. Like those there's a monetary conversation when those transfers happen.
I was gonna say, do we miss the days of Ian Johnson getting in trouble for knitting beanies?
Oh my gosh.
Do we miss those days?
How about the days of Boise State getting put on probation for a player sleeping on the couch?
With a box of ding dongs on the table.
You take him to McDonald's or something and got
they gave him like a 15-year-old Toyota Corolla. Yeah. He got suspended for 3 games.
Yeah. Well, we don't have unlimited time, so I want to wrap this up in a little bit, but I want to get your guys' final thoughts on the actual on the field, football and basketball moving forward. But I do want to thank a couple more sponsors real quick. Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. Their anniversary sales going on. They got some great deals. You can check them out, view their full inventory of vehicles online at lithiafordboise.com. Taco Bell, we appreciate the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, TacoBellWorks.com. You can get more information on their giving efforts. They're donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to the student athlete scholarships, the endowed scholarships for the men's and women's basketball team. You can get more information, check them out, and apply for a job as well, TacoBellWorks.com. You're looking to get into the trucking industry, transportation compliance service, transcomservice.com, local-based company. They help folks all over the world. I told the story last, was in Mexico 2 weeks ago, met a guy at the pool bar, was a truck driver, and just kind of randomly got talking that I have a sponsor that does this, and he uses transportation compliance service to help all of his paperwork and things and get out on the road. So check them out, Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a new career change, highly recommend the folks at Transportation Compliance Service. We mentioned Circa earlier, $16 million in guaranteed prizes this year. If you're looking to get into the football contest, Mike Prater and I, John, you're heading down next week. We can sign you up for the contest. You can come down yourself and join us in August for the contest weekend. And again, they have the millions, they have the Survivor, $1,000 entry fee, but $10 million to the winner for the Survivor contest, $6 million for the millions, and you got all kinds of cool perks in terms of hotel deals, discounts, and things for playing. So check them out, Circa Sports. And again, you can do it through the proxy Tom Carroll, 100% legal. I know gambling in Idaho, folks think like, this looks kind of shady. No, Tom Carroll's your proxy. We get you set up, and then he goes in and makes the picks for you. It is 100% legal to play through a proxy with the Circa Millions. So highly recommend checking out the folks at Circa. And Mike, we're trying to set up another broadcast out at Lean Feast here pretty soon. I just got the text from my wife. Our order for the week has been delivered. So there is no excuse now to not eat healthy, because Lean Feast delivers anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. And again, we appreciate Dave. And we'll save that, last but certainly not least, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Again, jerseys, caps, all the NIL shirts, the bumper stickers, logo golf balls, and literally it's just a palace of Boise State apparel and gear and memorabilia. So if you're looking to get ready for the football season, perfect spot to go. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. And as we said, it's on the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall there, right next to Pro Image. Now they have the Pro Image Kids store as well. So Travis, I know the Blue and Orange Store started, you got, I guess you could say you got lucky, right? You started at the right time, and that's still to this day pretty cool to see folks supporting it the way they have.
Yeah. I mean, for those that don't know, we opened June 1st, 2006, and all we did was win every football game that fall and the Fiesta Bowl. So we
is that the location you were at the mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were there, and originally signed a short-term lease because we didn't know if it would be successful. We had a lot of doubters. But yeah, and a brand new coach. Like, people forget that, Coach Hawk had left. There was a lot of uncertainty around what was going to happen, and we were very fortunate that we had such a magical season and capped off with the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, we again love going in there. We really appreciate the Blue and Orange Store and what you guys are doing for BNN. I know there's some other spots out there, but if you're looking for your Boise State gear, make sure you go to the Blue and Orange Store. I know you guys offer some shipping deals online as well. You have I like some of the flash sales and daily deals and stuff. The blueandorangestore.com, a good spot to check out as well.
Yeah, we'll ship anywhere, and definitely always like to share with people that, hey, you know, this is Bronco fans that are doing this and locally owned here, and a lot of those other places, those dollars are not staying in Idaho.
You know, I know there's some pro image roots in Utah, and we were down in Utah for some family a couple of weeks ago, and we took him a big old bag of Boise State gear from the Blue and Orange store.
Oh, nice.
So we're trying to get down there, and I don't want to invade too much in Utah country, but we took a big old bag of Boise State gear to the family down there, and hopefully they're running around wearing it, and that'll be a celebration for your Utah roots with pro image.
I went to the new one in Seattle too, right outside of. I guess it's not new anymore, but last spring went to the new one you have in Seattle.
Yeah, we opened a big store right across from where the Mariners play and the Seahawks play, and it's pretty cool. I was actually texting with Jay Tust about this. It's on our website. You can see it. I can tweet it out, but we're doing a Mariners Boise State hat for the alumni night. This is when Tyson is throwing out the first pitch
in August, right?
In August,
yeah.
And so if anyone's going down for that game, come by and see the store. It's pretty cool that you can go buy your Mariners gear from, you know, Boise State fans from an Idaho company. But yeah, we've got a big store there right next to the stadiums.
A couple final comments coming in. Mike James wants to correct you. He says it was crocheting.
Did I say knit? Yeah. You know, I have gotten in trouble because knitting and crocheting are two completely different things, and I have been in trouble for that before. Beautiful reminder, and I'll probably forget again somewhere down the road.
Texas Bronco says, thanks, Travis, for all you're doing for Boise State. There's a lot of other comments coming in. People are wanting you to give away a hat or something. We never set it up. Maybe we could have done a giveaway or something. But you come in and buy one. The Blue and Orange store. You can get them online. But somebody asked your favorite Boise State hat. I know you had some NIL hats that you did. That you're one of the first to do that. Some of the athletes, one that's still here, one that's not, kind of created their own hats. But do you have a favorite hat that you guys sell?
I don't know. I mean, this one actually really good spot. I really like this. This is one of my go-to hats that I wear.
The script logo is pretty sweet.
The script logo in the white. But yeah, we had Ashton come in and design hats, and that was a really fun process and a pretty unique NIL deal. You know, with New Era and with us and with Ashton, and it was pretty cool.
Somebody's wanting your thoughts on the basketball roster. We'll get one thought on basketball, one thought on football, and get out of here. Mike, tell JP a few minutes late. I'll take.
I already gave him a heads up.
Okay, I apologize. I'll take the blame for this one. But the basketball roster, again, they lose some players. I know there was a lot of fans like curious what's going on. Why is Roddy leaving? Why is Buzo leaving? Obviously Max and Cam. They're trying to throw in Cade Rice's transfer into all this, and then you look at what they've added though, and you were obviously a part of that. And like I said, behind the scenes, a lot going on the NIL front with Dylan Anderson, with Javen Buchanan, getting Cardenas. We were over there the other day talking to Leon. May or may not have peeked my head in the gym during the workout, and it's going to be the biggest team Leon Rice has ever had. Average heights over 6'7". Wow. I mean, it's going to be, and you know, you look around, you're like, there's a lot of intriguing talent. I mean, I haven't studied I am doing the Lindy's magazine, college basketball magazine. I've done the Big 12, some other ones. This is the first year I'm doing the Mountain West teams as well. And a quick plug, I'm interviewing all the coaches for Lindy's, but we're going to do it on BNN as well to kind of get some summer basketball coverage here around the Mountain West. But I think they're going to have to be amongst the favorite, if not the favorite right now as it stands, despite, you know, even with some of the turnover on the roster. Just your thoughts on Leon, the basketball program, where it's at, and obviously still looking for that elusive goal of that one win in March, but certainly, you know, going for 4 in a row, getting in the tournament. This is still kind of the golden era here of Boise State basketball.
Yeah, I think, you always have the caveat of people need to stay healthy, but I think this is the best team we've ever had. I think that
Mike Prater doesn't like it hearing things like that.
I know.
I got a few things to say. I'm waiting for the last word here.
Listen,
I was kind of grinned.
I will just say, I was very optimistic going into last year, and they had a great season, but ultimately, you know, Roddy was not, I think, the right fit. And then you had Cam with the injury that really kind of impacted his game. I think this year, I think they've got the perfect point guard for what they need to do to space the floor and also keep defenses honest with his shooting. And then listen, we have I really truly believe an NBA guy coming in from Arizona. This was a Gonzaga, you know, recruit, was going to be the next great Gonzaga big man, switch gears when Tommy got that Arizona job. Don't need to get into all the details of why he left Arizona, but it's a tremendous thing to get him in. And then I think some of these guys we haven't seen yet that redshirted last year, we've heard great things about. And here's the thing: Prater can say, this is, we're over embellishing with best team we've ever had. But I will say this, and I know Leon would agree with me. We have to cash in this year. You've got Tyson as a senior. You've got Omar back. You've got this team put together. And I will say right now, July 1st, let's mark it down. Let's save the tape. We're not going to win a game in the tournament. We're going to win multiple games in the tournament.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
game.
about that. Just for a second there, I thought we were on the same page, and then it got really bad. I will say this: there is, and I'll morph, and then let you finish up. But I'll morph football into basketball. Both these programs, both these coaches, absolutely 100% won the offseason. And I believe on paper. Well, I don't believe. I know on paper. What we see on paper, these are the two best, most talented rosters we've ever seen in the history of Boise State athletics, football and basketball. And they're superstars. There's a Genty, and then there's a Degenhardt, and then there's a lot of support behind them. And then there's this mysterious point guard and this mysterious quarterback. So I think there's a lot of similarities, but for me, it comes down to the real life. Winning one game. I'm just looking for one game, Travis. One game, and then getting in that CFP invite. So it's an exciting time. It's a mysterious time, and the best part is there are two very distinct goals right in front of them in terms of getting that CFP invite and winning that NCAA tournament game. So I think the 24-25 athletic season is going to shape up to be one of the most dynamic. It's perfect for guys like me and BJ. Great storylines, great drama, great intrigue, lots of skepticism, maybe a little bit of negativity just in terms of what's going to happen here and there. But I think the end result, the finish line, could be spectacular depending on how the season shakes out.
Yeah, and I would agree that it's the most talented basketball team, and I think those expectations should be high and will be high, and I do believe they'll deliver. I would disagree with you that this is the most talented football team.
Like 11 or
2009, 2010. I mean, you look at all the guys that went to the NFL from those teams and the weapons of you have Kellen Moore, Doug Martin, Austin Pettis, Titus Young. I mean, that was pretty special.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, we'll see, and they could be, and having Ashton, and they have a lot of talent, and certainly this opportunity, I think there is so much excitement about how the schedule sets up, about this college football playoff, opportunity. Pressure is there, but I love it. We haven't talked much about Spencer today, but I love Spencer. I think that this team will play very hard, play very smart. I think they will play together. And I think this is going to be a great football season. It's hard in football because you lose one, maybe two games, and you're in trouble. And so that makes it a little tougher. But I think this football team can be very, very special. And I think fans are. I think the excitement is probably the highest we've seen in a very long time for this football season.
And I was looking back at last year. I mean, it's crazy to look back at how some of those games they lost and the way they lost them and how close, I know no one here, Andy Avalos, come out and say, we're 6 points from being 8-1. Or, I mean, they really were. I mean, it was crazy to lose a couple last second field goals, the way the Memphis debacle, obviously the Colorado State game, blowing that game by, 20-point lead or whatever in the last 5 minutes. I mean, they were pretty close. And you bring in a coach that it seems like they really like playing for and some of the talent. And who's your starting quarterback week one?
Well,
Come on.
I think it'll be Malachi. I do.
Go with the younger guy with the hype, and he's the guy that's going to.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this guy was the Gatorade Player of the Year in California 2 years in a row. Like, he's got a lot of talent. Really excited about Dirk and him having a whole off season to scheme up. And yeah, I mean, it's another example of winning the off season, right? Like bringing Dirk in, bringing Malachi in, keeping Ashton. They did some great things, and even just retaining guys that aren't Ashton. There were other guys that had substantial offers to leave.
Yep.
Defensive players and tight ends and things, and people don't even really think about that. So they did a great job on the retention front, and I think this team's going to be ready.
Back to the quarterback, I think Malachi Nelson made enough progress in the last 10 days of spring camp where he really just kind of closed that gap with Maddox Madsen. And I was thinking, Dirk Cutter was going to just play it smart because he loves Maddox Madsen, and he's going to start on August 31st. But I think Malachi is going to make considerable progress in fall camp again to continue that momentum. And let's say at the very worst, it's tied in terms of 50-50, and Dirk Cutter's going, what am I doing? Who am I going to pick? If he picks Maddox just because he knows that eventually down the road Malachi might be the starting quarterback, I think he would reverse that and go with Malachi, because in game 3 or game 2 or game 4, he doesn't want to bench Maddox. And so I think he's going to go with Malachi right off the start because he sees the future. He sees the crystal ball. And again, maybe it's 55-45 in favor of Maddox, but he knows deep in his heart that in another week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that Malachi is going to be a starter, and he wants nothing to do with the nonsense of the last couple of weeks or the last couple of seasons with quarterback juggling.
I think BJ is hoping one guy starts, but then the other guy comes in on the second play.
Bush Hamden's gone, so I don't know, but
that was BJ's favorite part of last year's football season.
It wasn't for you too?
No, it was
Start
crazy.
One play and then they switch quarter. It was
perfect for guys like us.
So embarrassing. I mean, it was the most one of the most disrespectful things I've seen, to say our starter's Taylor Green, and literally one play you take them out, and then they say, oh, well, that was the play we like. You don't have any play in your playbook for the first play of the game that you can run other than that one. And I think there could be a book written about last season's football team.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
And I 100% agree. And I don't think Dirk Cutter wants anything to do with that. And if he starts Maddox, but in week 3, Malachi is the better quarterback, there's going to be, people will be happy because everybody wants Malachi to start. Let's be honest here, but they're still going to be, okay, here we go again, quarterback palooza. I don't think Cutter wants anything to do with that.
It's fun to talk football and talk about and just have it be a month away. And we're a week away from Mountain West Media Days. Mike Prater, Johnny, and I will be heading down to Vegas a week from tonight. Thanks to sponsors like Travis Hawks and the Blue and Orange Store for getting us down there. And I think we'll do berries on Travis on Wednesday night. Maybe we'll send him the bill. But looking forward to that. Travis, thank you again. And again, Blue and Orange Store for folks not in the area, online as well. I assume you do more business online probably than in store?
No, more in the store.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to see. Every time I go in there, there's still several people in there and looking around, and just every day there's another rack up towards the front where you got some great deals going on. So highly recommend, folks. Somebody was asking how long after the jerseys get announced. Will you guys get the new jerseys?
Yeah, we'll have them. I don't know the exact date, but it should be around the start of the season.
Okay, perfect. Looking forward to that. So you can get the new jerseys, all the hats. Folks were asking about some of these too. If you're seeing it on the wall, it's probably available online, theblueandorangestore.com. So support Travis. Again, you just watched an hour-long free show on YouTube. Thanks to guys like Travis. So support the Blue and Orange Store, support all the sponsors, and again, appreciate you guys for doing that and keeping this thing going. Mike, Idaho Sports Talk today. I know it's a new week. You're heading in now to get the meeting done, but not to put you on the spot here, but what do we got on today's show?
5:00 live. Eric Nelson, the father of Malachi Nelson. We're going to dive deep into into that deal. So we're looking forward to that. And we're also going to celebrate July 1st in the history of Boise State football.
There you go. That'll be fun. Well, again, Travis, thanks to you. Thank you, Prater, as well. Fun time out here at the Capitol 11 building in Meridian. Great stuff, and we appreciate them and the Blue and Orange Store. So have a great rest of your day. And, again, listen to Idaho Sports Talk today at 3. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.